snowed in. What do you think?
Okay, this tea was a good idea. It is absolutely freezing here. Is it freezing where you are right now? Since it is freezing, and since we are mildly snowed in right now, I thought that this would be the perfect week to do some stash busting and make a sweater. So this week, while I have been freezing and just like snuggled up on the couch watching Gossip Girl for the first time, please no spoilers, I know that I'm 20 years late, I have just been sitting here looking at my stash of yarn, like so much yarn. And this isn't even all the yarn. I have more yarn upstairs. I have more yarn in storage in the garage, so much yarn. And y'all, we're getting to a place where a lot of the balls of yarn are like this big, you know, or even some as small as like this big. And y'all know how much I hate wasting things, especially yarn. So that's why I decided to do some stash busting this week and use my scrap yarn to make this super colorful sweater. So far I have exactly half of the project done, and I'm sorry that I'm jumping in the middle of the project, but honestly, you guys know me at this point. If you don't know me, hi, welcome to the Sunflower family. I'm Auna, and on this channel we do a little bit of everything cozy and quirky. So if you're new here, I have a very bad habit of not finishing projects. I just get so excited about the next project, and I just want to go from project to project to project. And anytime I take on like a bigger project, especially something like a sweater, I sometimes leave it in the dust, or you know, in the work in progress pile. So the other night, when I had the itch to start going through all of my scrap yarn to start this sweater, I didn't start filming it yet because honestly, I didn't know if I was gonna get like 2 rows, 3 rows, 10 rows into it and just not like it. So the other night on a whim, whenever I started crocheting this stash busting sweater, I honestly had no idea if I was gonna like it. I didn't know if I was gonna get bored. I didn't know if I was gonna make part of it and then just never touch it again. So I didn't start filming it, but then I got halfway done with the sweater and now I'm just like genuinely so excited about this sweater, and I was like, I can't not show this to you guys. So what we're gonna be doing for this week's video is I'm going to be curling up with some warm tea because it is absolutely freezing in here. And we're gonna be making our way through not only my scrap yarn stash, but also my like yarn left behind stash. So there's some yarn that I buy for a project like this I got for the Valentine's Day earrings that I crocheted last year, but like heart earrings don't take that much yarn, and so now I have like this much left over. The same thing with these yellows. Like I bought these for Scott's bumblebee bag for honey trap, but like once again I didn't need that much yarn, so now I have all this yarn without a project for it. So what I did on the first half of the sweater worked really well, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the second half of the sweater, where basically whenever we're starting in the center with like these smaller parts of this granny square, we're using the smaller skeins of yarn. So for the very center, I am using this little purple. So this purple, if you recognize it, is actually Dollar Tree yarn that we used on our Dollar Tree sweater last year. We did all of like the edging on that sweater in this purple, so we did go through a lot of the purple, so I don't have that much left. I think this might be all that's left actually of my Dollar Tree purple. And as we work our way out in the square, we'll start using like bigger and bigger skeins of yarn. Then once we finally make it closer to the edges, we will definitely be going in and using some of these like bigger skeins of yarn. If you are someone who crochets, you might already have guessed what kind of sweater we are making, but if not, we are making one of the Hexagon granny square sweaters. Now these were literally everywhere last year. I saw these all over YouTube, all over TikTok, all over Pinterest. I feel like everyone was making one and I didn't, because you guys, drum roll please, I have never crocheted a sweater before.
Hello, Editing Holly here. That is technically a lie because I guess I did technically crochet a sweater a couple years ago for Christmas, and it was an 18-pound Christmas sweater. I just never really think about that as a sweater that I've crocheted because it's more of like a novelty specialty sweater and it's not a sweater that I could just wear. So I guess technically this is my second ever crochet sweater, but it is my first ever crochet sweater that I can just wear and enjoy on a regular basis. Okay, carry on.
I know, crocheting for 20-something years and I've never crocheted a sweater. I have made sweaters on my knitting machine. I have combined the knitting machine and crochet to make sweaters. I have crocheted tops, but I've never actually crocheted a sweater, and I'm kind of terrified. And I think part of this comes down to my fear of commitment to big projects. So once again, that is why we're starting this video kind of in the middle of the project, because I'm committed. I'm all in now. We're all in. We are stash busting. We're going through all of this yarn, and we're going to make the cutest little sweater for going into spring. And we're already frogging. But that's okay. Now I know some people are probably going to ask for a tutorial for this. And to that, I will say, I truly did think about attempting to make this sweater a tutorial, but I don't think that it would be smart for me to try to make this into a tutorial when it's the first one I have ever done. But we'll see how this goes. I'll let you guys know kind of what I'm doing as we move through the video. But if this goes really well, and if I decide that I want to make more hexagon granny square sweaters, then maybe I'll make another one and make a tutorial out of it. From what I've seen, this is genuinely one of the simplest ways to make a sweater. Literally, all you are doing is what I'm doing right now of making a hexagon granny square. It's literally just a 6-sided granny square. And if you want this to go really fast, just like don't change colors, just like use the same color over and over and over again, because changing colors and then weaving in all the ends, obviously that takes a long time. But you are literally just building out this 6-sided granny square, this hexagon granny square. And once you have it as big as you need it, it's really cool. So you're actually just folding one corner to another corner like this, and then another corner to the other corner. And you make it kind of look like this like L shape. And this is your sleeve, right? And then this is half of the body. So eventually, once I have the other side done, I'm going to sew up the top of the sleeve and to about here, leave some room for the neck, right? And then I will sew up the back of the sweater and put the two halves together. And then that's when we'll probably make the decision together if I'm actually going to make this like an open in the front cardigan, or if I'm going to make this a fully closed up sweater. I might go ahead and sew it all together front and back and make it like a pullover sweater, but I don't know, I might want to add buttons or ties and make it like an open cardigan. If you've seen a lot of my videos in the past, you might know that I love to like time my projects based on how many episodes of something or how many movies of a series it takes me to like complete a project. So for example, last Valentine's Day, I made Josh a sweater on the knitting machine, and I wanted to see if I could do it within all the Hunger Games movies. And it ended up taking me all of the Hunger Games movies and 2 Twilight movies to make Josh a sweater on the knitting machine. So I think what I'm going to use to time this particular project is Gossip Girl. I just started watching Gossip Girl for the first time ever. It is one of my best friend's favorite shows, and she has been asking me for the better part of the last decade to finally watch Gossip Girl. So this week, with the snowstorm and just being cold and snuggled up and crocheting, I was like, I need a new like bingeable show to watch. So I finally started Gossip Girl. So I think I'm going to see how many episodes of Gossip Girl does it take for me to crochet the second half of the sweater. Having said that, a few disclaimers, because I feel like something that people always ask is like, how long does it take to crochet X? How long does it take to crochet Y? And so I feel like I need to reiterate that your crochet speed is going to be different for everybody. Please, please, please never push yourself to get a project done as quickly as somebody else. And don't even just like push yourself to get a project done for a certain timeline. Like, always listen to your body, take care of your arm. If you are a regular here, you know that I have been dealing with nerve damage since 2022. At this point, I couldn't crochet for most of 2023. Trust me, you guys do not want to go through that. So while I am timing myself by seeing how many episodes of Gossip Girl I watch while crocheting the sweater, I will be taking my time. I will be taking breaks. I will be doing this project over the next multiple days. And another thing that I am doing to help the project go along quickly is I upsized my hook. For this project, I'm literally just using worsted weight yarn, which usually asks for like a 5 to 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. And on this project, I'm using an 8 millimeter crochet hook. So I have sized up about 3 hook sizes for this project, because a project like this is going to have like big holes in it no matter what size hook I use. And I personally really like the super holy look. So I figured, why not just size up a few hook sizes? Because like I love the look that it gives, but it also makes the project go by a lot faster. So I'm starting on season 2, episode 13 of Gossip Girl. Let's see how many episodes it takes for me to finish my sweater. So it's been one full episode, about 42 minutes, and this is how much I got done. Now keep in mind, I was in the middle of the second row, I think, when I started the episode. One thing about doing this kind of project is that it can kind of deceive you how quickly you think it's going to go. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm knocking this out, only one episode, look how much I've gotten done. But the problem is every single time you go in the round, you're adding multiple extra stitches to that round. So obviously every single round is going to take you longer than the round before. So far in the second half, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds done. And on the first half of the sweater, I believe that I did about 21 rounds. So I still have a way to go, especially since, like I said, you know, every single row is going to take longer than the row before. But one thing that I love about whenever the project gets to about this size is that you can go ahead and fold it and you can see how it's gonna work. Like, this could literally be a little toddler jacket already. Like, picture just making the other half of it about this big, like so stinking cute, or for like a doll or something. Adorable. I should make one for my niece. Okay, but this one is for me, and I am going to start my next episode, and we will see just how many rounds we get done, since the rounds, like I said, are going to take a little bit longer each time. I am at the end of another episode, another about 43 minutes, and you'll really start to see what I'm saying about how much longer it takes to go around each time. So just finishing the second episode, we are starting on the 9th round out of 21. You guys, I love these colors so much. For this scrap yarn project, I'm only using like my very colorful scrap yarn. I think I might do another scrap yarn project using all of my more like natural color scrap yarn, like more like browns and oranges and greens, you know? I think that that could be really fun. It's so much fun to actually dive in and be doing a scrap yarn project. This is something that I have been like looking forward to a lot this year, and something that we talked about a lot in my 2025 trend predictions video. If you have not seen that video, I will link it above. It's just a silly fun video of me talking about the things that I think are going to be popular within the crochet world this year, and something that I think is going to have a big surge in popularity is scrap yarn projects. And I think when people think scrap yarn, they picture like tiny pieces of scrap yarn, but I don't even necessarily mean tiny pieces of scrap yarn. I mean projects that are done with like partially used skeins that you don't really have like a purpose for anymore. Any type of leftover yarn that is just sitting in baskets and baskets and baskets in your room, because I'm sure that you, like me, possibly also have these. And my reason for adding this into the 2025 trend video is because obviously I know that crochet has been popular for like such a long time, but it's really had a resurgence since the pandemic. And I feel like if you've been crocheting for like 4 or 5 years, that's like kind of the perfect amount of time to have accumulated a lot of yarn that you can start using for scrap yarn projects. Like in the beginning, you're just so excited to be buying yarn for very, very, very specific projects. And then you use the yarn for those projects, and let's be real, we always have leftover yarn. So if you're also in the same boat, maybe this is the year that you also start making scrap yarn projects. And I mean, I'm having so much fun with this Hexagon granny square sweater, and I think that this is just gonna turn out super, super beautiful. So if you have a lot of colors that you like the way that they go together, this could be something fun to try. I just finished my 3rd episode, and we are halfway through the 11th row, and y'all, you know how I'm working with partially used like skeins, and some of these don't have much left? I played yarn chicken and I lost bad. Okay, so I was using this beautiful green yarn, and I really thought I had enough. I really, really thought that I had enough. And I was so close. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right here. I ran out. Oh my gosh. Not by very much. What, little 5 little sections that had to be done with a different yarn, but I really don't care. It's fine. This is a scrap yarn project anyways, and I think it just like adds to the magic of it all. You know. I just finished my 4th episode of the night, and y'all, it is going so much slower as each row gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I just started on my 13th row, so you guys can see just like how much longer it's taking now. I'm really glad that I'm timing it, even if I'm just timing it through a TV show. So obviously it's not going to be like completely accurate, but I think at the end I'm going to be able to add all of this up and have like a rough idea of how long it took me to make the sweater. I just finished my 5th episode for today, and y'all, I actually got so much more done than I thought I was going to. So I just did a little math. And if you take the 5 episodes that I watched times 42 minutes each, it ends up being around 3.5 hours. So I'm really, really proud of doing this in 3.5 hours. Now, obviously the time isn't going to be like exact because I do take a ton of breaks while I'm crocheting. And it's the only reason now, like with my nerve damage, that I can crochet for multiple hours a day again, is because I will like crochet a few, take a little break, crochet a few, take a little break. So don't forget to always take care of your wrist and your arms and go slow, go at your own pace. Even if you are timing yourself just to see how long does it take you to do a project, don't forget that it is never, ever, ever a race, even if it's against yourself. But for tonight, it is officially after 1 a.m. I am going to go get ready for bed and read a little bit, and then I will pick up the rest of the sweater tomorrow. I think I can get it done tomorrow. Maybe the day after. We'll see how it goes. It's been about 24 hours since I've seen y'all, and the second half of our sweater is finally done, or at least done with like the crocheting part. Now I have to do my least favorite part ever, which is weaving in all of the ends. But before I get to that lovely part, I thought that it would be fun to talk about how long it took me. So to do the second half of the sweater, it officially took me 13 Gossip Girl episodes. That times 42 minutes a piece is about 546 minutes. That divided by 60 is 9.1 hours. So taking that times 2, roughly just the crocheting part of this project would have taken me a little over 18 hours. So next I'm going to grab one of my darning needles and we're gonna see how long it takes me to weave in all the ends. I cannot believe that weaving in the ends took me almost an hour. So that means we take the 18 hours that we were already at and we add on 2 more hours for weaving in the ends. And so this is currently at 20 hours. And I just finished doing my best to use some stitch markers to kind of like pin this together in like the way that I think I want it to go. I still can't decide if I want it to be open in the front or like an actual sweater. I made it oversized, so I'm thinking it's going to be like an open in the front cardigan, but I don't know. I think that we're gonna start by making it like a cardigan and then I'll decide if I wanna close up the front or not. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and start my timer and we are going to see how long it takes to stitch up the body. And to stitch up the body and the arms, I have decided just to do a single crochet. You guys will have to let me know if you recommend something else, but this is how I usually like to stitch up my crochet projects. I just feel like it works the best for me. Well, I just finished sewing it all together. It took me 35 minutes to sew up the arms and the back, and I was just about to put it on. Like I literally just ran and grabbed a t-shirt that I thought would look cute under it, and I sat down and I was about to film myself putting it on, but Tilly decided it was lap time, so I'm gonna have to wait to try it on. Look at the cuteness. Are you just a cuteness? Oh, thank you, cuteness. But I'm actually so excited because I'm thinking I'm gonna wear this out tomorrow night. So one of my friends is moving and we are doing like a going away celebration by going to karaoke. And we're a group of friends that hardly ever like go out. We more like just sit at the house and like watch movies and like play games and stuff. So I am very excited to be going and doing karaoke with some friends tomorrow night. And I think I'm going to style this and wear it out and I will show you guys the final look then. Say goodnight, Tilly. I am so excited. Okay, I think I put together an outfit that I like. I'm wearing a top that, believe it or not, I think I got this at Five Below like a long time ago. And then a skirt that I thrifted, my little butterfly belt, my gummy bear necklace, my cat ballerina earrings. Oh, and I can't forget my purse. I'm bringing my cloud purse that my friend Lydia got me for my birthday. And y'all, I think we are ready to go do some karaoke. They don't have any Taylor Swift. Do they have Creed songs though? Yeah? No Taylor Swift. It's fine, everything's fine.